Good morning, everybody. My name is Trent Jenkins with North Coast Fallbrook. Glad to be sharing this gem as part of the Daily Dose. We're going to be diving into Genesis chapter 39 in the life of Joseph. Now, not his whole life. I just want to share one small portion. I think a lot of times we see people's success, but we really need to go to their moments of despair to see where their character was really made. So let's jump into it. Now, Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Potiphar, an Egyptian who was one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there. Okay, a little bit of context. All right, Joseph was now this guy that was 17 years old, and he went out to his brothers, and he told them this story about how they were all going to bow down to him, this dream that he had. Now, I don't know if you have brothers and sisters, but usually sharing any sort of story like that is not going to gain them more favor. And actually, what did they decide to do? They decided to kill him. Oh yeah, let's just kill him. But one brother said, no. He's trying to save him. But he said, maybe we can get something for him. Let's at least sell him so we get something from him. So he sold him to the Ishmaelites, and they took him down to Egypt. So you got this guy, Joseph. He's 17 years old, and now he's a slave in a foreign land. Probably doesn't even speak the same language, but let's find out what happens to him. The Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw the Lord was with him and the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became his attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. Everything. It says that he entrusted everything he owned. So how does this slave boy become in charge of everything? Did he pull a daddy card? He's like, do you know who my dad is? Or do you know, like, hey, I did some good things. I think I should be in charge. No. I think Joseph made some decisions in his life that many of us fail to do. I think Joseph chose joy instead of despair. There's no way you're going to put somebody in charge of everything if they're walking around with a chip on their shoulder talking about the circumstances that they had. He had to choose joy. He had to choose a different attitude. And then I think he chose diligence. He chose to work hard for what he got. There's no way that you're successful in everything you do unless you're diligent with what is put in front of you. I think there's this attitude, this mindset that somehow, because we're Christians, that we get extra favor, that we have this blessed life and we're just going to be prosperous simply because we can call ourselves a Christian. Well, the favor that we get, the grace that we get, gets us into heaven. But we actually have to earn our right in front of other people to trust us with things that we need in our lives, to trust us with extra favor, to trust us with extra responsibility. So here he is. He works so hard in Potiphar's house, and then what does he get in return? Let's find out. Oh wait, jail time. Potiphar's wife tries to seduce him, and then she claims rape, and so then Potiphar puts him in jail. What? You kidding me? He works so hard in the slave land. This is the favor he gets from God? Have you been there? Have you ever worked for an employer so hard and all that you seem to do is get a demotion? And you're like, what? How did that guy get promoted over me? Ever been there in terms of your marriage or with your kids that you work so hard and you're trying to provide and you're trying to be loving and forgiving, and all you do is you get more despair? And she says, man, God, I feel like I'm getting screwed here. Is that what circumstance that Joseph chose in his attitude? He gets put in prison, and what happens? Let's see. Oh, wait. The warden puts him in charge of everything in the prison. How does a prisoner get put in charge of everything unless he chooses a different attitude? He chose joy. He had to choose diligence. You see, the warden and Potiphar both saw Joseph and said, I need that guy on my team. There's something different about him, and I know that I'm going to be better if he's with me. I want him a part of my management team. He gives life to the room. Do people want you on their team? Do they look at you and say that you provide more life to the room, or do you suck the energy out? Do they trust you? Do they want to give you more responsibility? Colossians 3:23 says for us to work as though we're working unto the Lord and not just to men. And then we're going to receive our inheritance in heaven. We got to work as though it's for God. We got to give our best. We should be the best as Christians. We should be the number one hires in the workplace because we call ourselves Christians. Let's go out and choose a different attitude today. Let's choose a different mindset. Let's be the people that God needs us to be.